Hi all, I wanted to make a quick video in my I don't need TradingView to trade series. I'll again show you a set of indicators that work beautifully together. Before I proceed, I would like to mention that this is an educational channel. All content over here is for the sake of education. Kindly read the disclaimer that you see on the screen and in the description below. With that said, let's proceed. So as you know, yesterday I had uploaded a video where I showed you this setup and why I did not short on Friday. I told you it had to be below this blue line to short. We are looking at Bank Nifty September futures on the left as well as on the right. So this indicator on the left hand side and this page setup I've already explained. Now what I'll do is explain things on the right hand side. If you don't like this setup, then you can probably use this setup, which is a little more cleaner. It's using a little less indicators on top. It looks a little less cluttered. So we'll see how things go when we are using this setup. All right. Now the common thing to note over here is when you see a breakout over here, this breakout, the green is above the purple. Here our candles have gone past all moving averages and we are looking at a breakout over here, right? So I still think that this is a fantastic setup on the left, but this setup is equally good if you can understand. All right. So what are we doing over here? In fact, in this setup, we can add one more indicator. I will discuss about that as we proceed. So in this setup, we are using very simply. In fact, let me make this from scratch for you. All right. I'll remove indicators. So now on the left hand side, what you see is what we have already done yesterday. And on the right hand side, we are going to build this page from scrap. All right. So the first indicator we will use is EMA, moving average exponential, and the settings will be, we will say the length we want 30. The signal smoothing length at the bottom we need 3. All right. Here we will use blue and we will use smoother MA and we'll probably give it a yellow. All right. With that, we are pretty much done on top. If you want to add one more indicator, you can add a VWAP. Now, all these indicators that we are going to use in this setup are available on all platforms. That's why this video is coming under the heading, I don't need TradingView to trade, because when I make a video in this series, that means those indicators are available on all trading platforms. All right. We will use VWAP. My VWAP settings are very simple. I don't make any changes to the settings and I always use VWAP with the white color. Sometimes I use very white, sometimes a little less white. Sometimes when I use the first white, it hurts the eyes, so I use less or maybe even lesser. So it depends. All right. But generally all my VWAP is white color. You can mark it white or any other color you want. Depends on you. I'm using thickness too. You can also use whatever thickness suits you. All right. So we can, on a general note, say that the market is bullish if it's above VWAP and above the EMA that we have just made, 33. All right. It's a non-shorting opportunity. The next indicator that we will use is DMI, which is directional movement. I think the full form of this is directional moving index, but it comes up as directional movement. I'll also put it to my favorites. Over here, the setting is very simple. In inputs, we will leave everything at default. We don't want DX and we don't want this, and we don't want this and this at the bottom as well. We want the first one, we will mark it green. We want the second one, the DI plus, we are marking green. DI minus, we are marking red. And this ADX, we shall make white. All right. This again, the second white, because the first white is a little too bright, hurts the eyes, and we shall save this as default, and so that every time I use this, I don't need to make these changes again and again. So directional moving index, this is the setting. And just because we like RSI too much, even though we don't need it, but because we like RSI a lot, I like RSI a lot for borders, I will use RSI. Because red is already used over here on top, I will make the, so I'm only using RSI for borders. I'm using the upper border, lower border at upper border at 70, lower border at 30, and the center line at 50. But because this DMI has already got a red line, I'll make this yellow for a change. Just decrease the strength a little bit so that it does not hurt the eyes. I will bring this down to 70, maybe somewhere at 70. So yeah, center line is now yellow, top is white, bottom is white, and I'll say okay. Now I'll merge the two by clicking on DMI and saying move to existing plane below, and then once again clicking DMI and telling pin to scale, no scale, full screen. That's it, guys. We are done. When do you go long? You go long at the bottom if green is above the center point, it's above the red line, above the ADX, it's breaking out about the 50% mark, you go long. When do you go short? When red is above the green and white line and breaks above the 50% mark. Now you see in this whole day on Friday, did the red line ever go above the 50% mark? And it went towards the end, it went above the green and white, agreed, but it never went above the 50% mark. And I would have only shorted if this red line went above the 50% mark and gave a breakout like this green has given over here. All right, till then it was a no shorting day. Over here also I mentioned till this blue line is breached yesterday, I would have not shorted. Similarly over here, till this red line would have crossed this 50% center mark and gone up, leaving the white and green at the bottom behind. And this candles need to go below VWAP and below this moving averages. So you can see towards the end, it went below VWAP, but it still did not break. Sorry, it went below the EMA of 30 and 3, but did not go below the VWAP. That is why I did not short on Friday. All right. Now this setup that you're seeing on the right hand side and on the left hand side can also be used to make a trading setup. I've already done that for this setup on the right hand side, so I'll show you how it looks. I've done it in fares, but whether I do it in done or fares does not matter because these are common indicators. They're available on all platforms and they work similarly. All right, so this is how it's done. September Bank Nifty September futures on the left. For the time being, I'll make everything the same. So September futures. All right. So all three screens are now showing me Bank 3 September futures. I've split the screen into three. And why I've split the screen into three, I'll show you. So all three are showing me September futures. The first one, I will let the September futures be. All right. What I'll do over here, in fact, is on the left hand side, I will add VWAP to this also because VWAP and RSI I generally like. So I'll add VWAP to this. Okay, there you go. We have a VWAP. Again, no changes. We are using third white in this. All right, because maybe in pairs the white is a little more white. And we will say apply these indicators to the entire layout. There you go. So now all three screens are showing the same thing. All right, they are all showing Bank Nifty September futures on the 5-minute time frame. So on the left hand side, the first one, we will let the September futures window stay open. In the center, we will say we'll right click this and say options chain and first choose the strike price. So this is at 51,925, right? So we will choose a 52,000 call. For the sake of simplicity, here you go. All right. And for the sake of simplicity, we will choose a 52,000 put as well. There you go. All right. So for us to go long on the put, that means shorting the index basically. All right. So if I look at it on the left, this needed to go down and the red needed to go above the 50% mark, leaving the white and green behind. Same is the case over here. In this case, green would have to go up because we are looking at put. Green would have to go up, leaving the white and red behind. Over here, yeah, green would have to go up, and in the call section, the red would have to go up for me to short. Very simple, guys. All right, because call is very similar to the futures chart. These two will, if you see, there are similarities between the two because if the Futures is going up, the calls also are going up, but the put is coming down, right? Simple. I did not even take a call because I did not get very good breakout. I mean, there was no clear cut breakout. You could say over here, yeah, this is, it's gone above the VWAP and it's above the EMA, it's above the VWAP for sure. But I was not getting a very clear cut signal where the green was cutting into the white and really breaking out. Hence, I did not take a call. And why I did not take a short, I've already explained over here that the red was not going above the 50% mark, leaving the white and green behind. Okay, so whether you want to use this setup to set up your trading page where you have the futures on the left, you can have futures or spot, depends on you. If you use spot, VWAP will disappear because VWAP does not work on spot chart. If you use futures, then the VWAP will be visible. Depends. If you want to see the VWAP, use futures. If you don't want to see the VWAP, then use spot chart. So futures chart on the left hand side, whatever strike price you choose for call in the center, and whatever strike price you choose for the put section on the right hand side. If the market is going up, you see this at the bottom, you see the green breaking out for put and going above, leaving the white and red behind, and you see over here that the candles are broken out above this EMA, above the VWAP, you will buy a put. For call, the green has to break out over here and go above, leaving the red and white behind for the call section, and it has to go above the 50% mark and give a clear cut breakout, and over here it needs to be above the VWAP and the EMA for a clear cut breakout. Only when we see that do we take a long over here, short over here, and the index itself over here. All right, this is in Dhan. I've shown you how both of them compare. This may not be to the liking of everybody. People may say you're using pivots, you're using this. In fact, I can use pivots here as well because my pivots are Fibonacci will come up by default. So how does it make any difference? But yeah, some people don't like seeing too many moving averages on screen. For them, the right hand side is a better setup. It's a cleaner setup. You can use pivot point standard. Fibonacci pivots over here. My settings are very simple. I use Fibonacci. It's on auto. Number of pivots back 15. Historical pivots. I uncheck this. I don't want to see back because I'm trading for that day. These are the colors I choose. Pivot is red. SRR1 is yellow. S2R2 is blue, and S3R3 is white. I've always said once the R3 on top is broken, markets don't come down again, generally on a general note. And once the S3 is broken at the bottom, markets don't recover that day on a general note. That's on a general note, all right? And it's more applicable to the breakout because R3 breaks out quite often, and once R3 is broken, then you will see that that particular index will not come down for that day. It will try and stay above R3 itself. All right. But like I said, this Fibonacci pivots is your call. They both look like this. Whichever one suits you best, you go ahead with that. All right. So on that note, I'll end this video. Thank you very much for watching. I hope this setup was useful to you in some form or the other. It's very simple. As if you understand the DMI at the bottom, you have basically understood this setup simply, very clearly. All right. I hope this video was helpful to you. If it was, then please like and subscribe to the channel. Share this video with your family and friends. If you're already a subscriber, then consider becoming a member because we release premium content for our members every now and then. I've got a series of Fibonacci series, advanced Fibonacci levels, and I've been trying to automate that for a long time. I think I'm coming close. So maybe in October sometime I'll finish that and upload it for my members. I'm still working on how to automate advanced Fibonacci series where we are not using normal Fibonacci, we are using advanced Fibonacci retracement levels. All right. So if you're already a subscriber, consider becoming a member. Please like the video, give it a thumbs up. That motivates us to make more videos for you. Also subscribe to our free Telegram channel. The link is given in the description. All our videos. I'll see you in the next video. Take care. Bye bye.